Hi Dan!
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Happy World Mangrove Day.
Happy World Mangrove Day to you.
Fancy meeting you here.
Well, there's a pretty high chance I'm going to be here. I'm often in a mangrove.
Nice. Anyway, thanks for agreeing to let us ask you 20 questions. So, what are your plans for World Mangrove Day?
I'm probably going to meet with some students about their projects, obviously about mangroves, and then probably in the afternoon we might go for a mangrove walk.
Nice. So, where are we?
So we're in Belaya Creek, and what's really special about this place is that it's almost right smack in the downtown of Singapore. So it's great that we have this protected mangrove, right in the middle of the city, and it joins up to Labrador Park Nature Reserve down the boardwalk.
Very cool. So you do a lot of research in mangroves and in blue carbon. How did you first fall in love with mangroves?
I first fell in love with mangroves because, to be honest, they're a little bit weird, right? They've this kind of unique set of adaptations to live in the coastal environment. It's a really tough place for them to live. And there aren't that many species that can do it, but they've evolved all of these kind of really cool different growth forms to be able to do it.
What's your favorite fact about mangroves?
My favorite fact is about this here. This is a mangrove propagule. It's basically the seed or the seedling of a mangrove. And when it's ready to germinate, it drops off the tree and it then floats around in the water. Now, the great thing about this is how long they can float for. How long do you think this mangrove propagule could float?
1 week?
Higher?
1 month?
Higher?
2 months?
Well, even higher than that. Actually, some mangrove species, their propagules can float for as much as 1 year. So that means a mangrove propagule that drops off a tree here in Belaya Creek might go out to the sea and it might get taken away by the currents and could end up somewhere in Thailand or Myanmar.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Where's the most interesting place you've done research?
I mean, I've been really lucky to do research in mangroves all over the world, and it's been a real privilege. And it's hard to pick just one, right? But if I was, I think it would be a project that we had in southwest Madagascar. And this is a really arid part. It's a kind of desert and then just these little bays full of mangroves. And it's in those bays where all of the coastal villages are. And it just showed to me the importance of mangroves to people, because a lot of the resources used by those villages came from those mangrove forests.
If mangroves could speak, what do you think they'll say?
Well, I can actually ask for you because I speak mangrove. So, hi mate, what would you like to say to everyone? Oh, I can't say that, no. Okay, I'll give the polite version. Okay. So the polite version was, hey, I provide you with all of these benefits. Why do you keep cutting me down?
How would your friends describe you in one word?
Well, in one word, I don't know, but I can probably think it in, 4 words. Oddly obsessed with mangroves.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Non-mangrove related, I have, in grad school, I played the synthesizers in a really bad and cheesy 80s tribute band.
Which scientist inspires you the most?
I can't narrow it down to one scientist. And in fact, there's all the scientists that I work with every day. I'm really lucky to work with some really awesome people who are really passionate about mangroves.
What's your proudest moment as a scientist?
I think the proudest moment was when we were working on a mangrove restoration project and that got announced. And it was great because it was a community-led initiative. It was called the Restore Ubin Mangroves Initiative. It was academics, NGOs and nature enthusiasts, but also members of the community and the public and residents and fish farmers of Ubin. And we worked all together to advocate for this restoration project, which is now going ahead. So that was a really proud moment for all of us.
I understand that you also do a lot of outreach. What's your favorite media appearance as a scientist?
Yeah, we do a lot of media outreach, and normally it's quite kind of sensible, right? And we're giving kind of facts about mangroves and things. So the one that sticks out the most was one which was a lot more lighthearted and fun. And the host, we were showing around the mangrove for the first time. And basically he was just goofing around in the mangrove the entire time. And we're trying to keep up with him and try and keep him on track. But it made it a lot more personable and it was a lot of fun.
Mangroves are great and they have many benefits, including acting as a natural defense against sea level rise. What do you hope Singapore's coasts will look like in 10 years?
Well, in 10 years, I hope our coastlines are just covered in mangroves. And that can take a lot of different forms, whether it's protected mangroves and nature parks like the ones we're in now, or if it's incorporating mangroves into coastal engineering, so we have hybrid defenses. And lots of different ways that we can do that, but all of them will take the benefits of mangroves and maximize them. So the benefits of them sucking up our greenhouse gas emissions and mitigating climate change, or their tangle of roots, which are a really effective sponge to coastal protection and reducing shoreline erosion.
Where do you want to be in 10 years?
I still want to be knee-deep in mud in a mangrove.
What's your favorite animal?
Of course, my favorite animal is in a mangrove, and this is one I haven't actually seen myself, but it's on my bucket list. It's the Royal Bengal tiger, and one of its last refuges is in the Sundarbans mangrove, which is on the border of India and Bangladesh.
Climate change is a very heavy and serious topic. What keeps you motivated amidst all of the doomsday news?
I think what keeps me motivated are success stories. And often we hear about climate change and global change in general. We don't often hear about the success stories, right? But I'll give you one. Mangroves used to be one of the most threatened ecosystems on the planet. They were being lost at maybe 3% per year, and this was more than the coral reefs and rainforests, and people were worried that actually by the end of the century mangroves might be extinct because we were cutting them down for aquaculture and things like that. In the last decade or so, actually the rate of mangrove loss has really reduced, so it's about 0.1% per year instead of 3%. Obviously that's still 0.1% too much, but it gives us hope that we can manage our coastal environment in a more sustainable way.
Yeah, that sounds nice and it does give me hope. What's one thing you think that everyone can do to help fight against climate change and biodiversity loss?
I think one important thing which we often forget about is how if everybody was informed and was passionate about saving the environment or saving mangroves or contributing to reducing climate change, then we might be able to spread that message to more people, including the people that really do have the power to make the decisions that we need to make in the future.
Which country's mangroves do you want to explore next?
Next on my bucket list are the mangroves of Central America.
What's your best advice for people wanting to get into research?
To be a researcher, you don't have to be super smart. What you do have to have is passion, and you have to have perseverance and resilience, because sometimes in research a lot of things go right, but a lot of things go wrong as well. And it's sticking with it is the most important skill.
What's one thing you want to change in the world?
I wish everybody loved mangroves as much as I did.
Okay, last question. Do you have hope for climate change?
I do. I mean, it's a real challenge, and the challenge is going to be with us for generations, and it's not an easy challenge. And we don't have a great track record of facing up to that challenge like we should. But what encourages me in the last, 2 to 3 years, we've seen a real change in mentality, I think, and starting to speak to and interact with people that never had interest in climate change before, but now it's increasingly at the top of their agenda. And so the pace of that change is still too slow, and we need to speed it up, but at least that change is happening.
All right, got it. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one. Bye.